a new pile of reinforcements along the edge of the map. We're going to see how this works. I don't know how visible this is. I'm looking at it and it just looks like a mess of color. Anyway, we'll try to zoom in on where things are kind of interesting after the movement, I guess. Note, my vortex is having an effect. An orange unit moves into it, and actually it is destroyed permanently. It's only attrition that doesn't, and vortices are not attrition. They destroy magical units, so that's kind of cool. We're going to want to spring some more of them up, probably. It was on green and red, which had some effect, but some units, like this guy, had a 5 out of 6 chance of failing, but he took no damage. And then the vortex went moving off where it's not going to do much damage, which is kind of a shame. Now, we come to the combat phase, and we have a bunch of battles here. Not here. Yeah, here. And then all these places where I'm pinned because I don't have a magician to fix the situation. I'm down 3 cities. I lose 3 more, and it's pretty much hopeless, right? 2 more cities have gone, here and here. Puts me down to the 5 cities. I can still conceivably win, and I can still get a draw at 4 cities if I keep enough of my little guys. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my guys. So that's not gonna, 6 of my guys. So that can actually work. If I drop down to 4 cities and keep 6 of my guys, I can pull off a draw that way, I guess. But it looks pretty hopeless as of right now, just in terms of what's been wiped out. I've removed the units from the rows where there are no cities, except for that last one that I just grabbed. Those units are still available. They can come back, and now I gotta figure out what the hell the sorcerer can try to do to save his ass here. We move to attrition. This mage built himself a whirlwind here, moved back and forth, basically recovered the units, moved here, built a whirlwind, moved back. This guy recovered his units, jumped over to here, recovered, and jumped back. Seems like the best I can do right now. Now we're on the attrition phase, and our colors are going to be red and purple, and then we get to play with the vortices as well. This worked out to be a very good turn for me. I didn't lose anything. I didn't take any damage, not even a pin. Down here, these guys aren't fighting. Everywhere else, I think I managed to wipe something out without losing or even taking any damage to my values, which is pretty damn impressive. I've never seen anything like that happen before in the battles. Granted, I was picking on some things like the yellow dragons here, where I dominate them and have the ability to pretty much beat them up as I wish. But you kind of gotta take what you can. Now I don't know what happens when these purples get in here. The multicolors can stack from what I can tell from the rolls, but one color can't. So I'll probably randomly determine which one makes it in there first, assuming they can both make it in there. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the demon can make it there as well. I would obviously rather see the dragon make it in because they're easier to beat up. These pinned units are kind of weird. They're not destroyed, they're not out of the game. They can't have an effect unless their column is fixed. If they lose, if this city goes, this guy goes back in the pool, and I'm available. He's available to harass me again. So it's kind of cool to have them pinned, but they're not absolutely safe that way. One of the things I was thinking early on was I wanted to keep kind of a concentration so I could move things back and forth. And that's true maybe with the infantry to some extent. I've been able to, pool a couple of infantry here, for example. But with the wizards, it doesn't really matter. The sorcerers can teleport back and forth between places, I think. They're not allowed to do something. They're not allowed to fully conjure. They'd better be able to teleport in this one. Otherwise, it's hopeless. So, I'm able to cover more ground than it's felt like I've been able to. My damn vortex crapped out. The first one went off the board, the other one's heading out. Okay, a new wave came in. I did attrition, and my damn vortex runs off the map again. Oh well, those things could be very useful. We got units like this guy who are too slow to get out of there, but attrition could kill him, and if he's killed by attrition, he goes back in the cup, of course. A few battles to take care of, piles and piles of stuff conglomerating in these areas. Over here, these are still pinned, but there's reinforcements coming down. I noticed this guy, I've been forgetting about him. He's probably dead from attrition, actually. I don't know why he was there. That was a really dumb place to be. But yeah, that's an auto attrition space. Are we immune to attrition? That may be the case. Yeah, humans are immune. Okay, no problem there. But I've been forgetting to move him or do anything with him. He should be slowly making his way down to join the defense of other things. Although to some extent he's kind of safe here. If he moves into a corridor where there's attacks, he could end up dying that way. And my random foe is having a better chance this time. He pinned me here and caused a casualty here, but I've got sorcerers in place in those locations, so I can recover from that. Plus I did some casualties of my own. Killed a couple of dragons, I think a yellow and not a red, right? Maybe a red down here, I'm not sure. Picked on, targets of opportunity that it was easy enough for me to whack. And I finished turn 4. And things didn't go as well this time. I didn't build a vortex because those have been so iffy. I launched a bunch of color bolts. And I actually did quite a bit of damage with those, but then when it came down to the actual combats, here and here I took casualties, here I took a pin. Not as good. That's not a terrible situation because I have the mages, I can recover stuff. So right now, it almost feels like I'm in kind of a stasis, and there's a chance that I think I could draw out a draw from this. And that kind of brings me to think, well, maybe this isn't that horribly difficult a scenario. The last one, I don't see the way around it, but I'm sure there is one. This one, I'm beginning to see, look, there's a certain amount of territory you can cover. You want to protect probably the spaces that are the furthest away. So these were mistakes to let fall. I should have been protecting them. Problem is, teleporting into some of them might be hard. This one's very hard for green to teleport into. This one I can teleport into a white hex and move in. So that's pretty strong. And, then I can use firepower with the magic bolts to kind of blast away units whenever they end up in the wrong space, especially if they take attrition. Attrition this time didn't do anything for me. Well, no, that's not true. I think this unit attritioned because of it. I got yellow and green again, which is kind of a problem. Alright, as we pull into the next combat phase, we're starting to see some pile-ups of troops in places where it's not good for, and of course this has always had a few. And we got somebody attacking down here too for the sorcerer. Attrition was red and orange this time. That made some definite hits. You can see guys like this. Also, this guy ended up in a white hex. I don't know if I've been paying much attention to them, but that should kill. There's not a lot of them that caused a hit. There's not a lot of white hexes except right in this middle area of the board. So I don't think they've had much effect, to tell you the truth. But something may have gotten here before that I didn't count for. The thing is, you can't really tell. So like this guy leaves hexes at different places, so it may only be red units that end up falling there by default. And as we shift to the player turn, we can see there was a victory here. It actually gets rid of a couple of these too. That's dropped it to where it's no longer able to be won. I think I still have enough infantry that I could draw a tie, but things are looking pretty grim. Weakened there. Here I'm okay, but here I've got a unit that's weakened, and there's really not much I can do. If I withdraw from it, I lose the game immediately. If I stick there, well, a wizard could go try to fix the situation. It's really tough because I'm fighting for my life in every city I'm in. To me, actually, just being able to survive this, wiping out all the magic critters, I'd consider a victory from what I've seen of it. But maybe I don't get the game very well. Yeah, that's my feeling. Another city went down. I don't remember. Here. I think this one. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm done. This thing, I'm fighting. I've been fighting to keep my strength up. Now it'll be a blue critter's turn. He'll have a chance to kill this. The sorcerers can probably each protect a city on their own without any difficulty whatsoever. So there's really not much more to look at here. I've taken out about 6 cities. I don't know how many humans there are, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 humans. So we're down to 9. There's no chance of a victory anymore. And like I said, I mean, I can find kind of a stable point, but I've just been unable to figure out a way to defend against these things. Certainly there are things I would have done differently early, and it could be like a lot of solitaire games. If you screw up in the early moves, you're pretty much screwed for the remainder. The ones that are really kind of challenging puzzles. And I think this one and the previous one is. I have no clue how to solve the previous one. This one, I feel like I've learned some things that I would do differently. But I have so little interest in playing a solo design game where you're fighting against, prearranged or randomized critters coming against you. So I'll send this up, and I want to try at least one of the opposed games. I don't know how much stomach I have for this thing as a whole, though.